Well, hello there. How are you all doing? What's new? What's going on? It is current. I just finished watching a reaction YouTube to Thor, and it's thundering and lightning out, so it's very apropos. So if you hear any noise in the background, that's what it is. But I'm going to take you through what I got on my nails right now. Wow, that was a bright flash. Um, yeah. Anyway, this is the manicure that I did last night. I still have it on my hands. I am head over heels in love with it. These are all Sparkle & Co. colors. Ironically, they're from the June subscription bag from last year. I don't actually still have a subscription with them just because I was building up so much product that I wasn't actually using. I felt that I needed to actually use what I already have before I buy more, especially since I don't really do too many dip manicures anymore. I usually use mostly gel polish. I don't need to keep collecting product that I don't use. That being said, Sparkle & Co. is still my favorite dip company out there. Their colors, the quality of their colors, the extensiveness of the types of powder they have are second to none. They'll always be number one with me. And if I do decide to get a subscription plan for any more dip in the future, it will definitely be with Sparkle & Co. But the color that I'm putting on my thumb and my ring finger is Sparkle and Ice. And it was actually I think a color of the month for May last year that I decided not to get. And then when I purchased a mystery bag over the holiday season, it happened to be one of the ones that was included, so I was overjoyed to receive it. I tried mixing it on my own, and I couldn't quite get the same depth of color and sparkle, and it's phenomenal. But it goes on very smoothly. It is a mixture of different sized and shaped glitters. There's circular glitters, there's hexagonal glitters, and what I usually suggest for application of glitters, whether you're using gel polish or dip liquid as your glue, is to pour over the first coat, and then when you do the second coat, lay your finger into it. That way you'll get the most payoff and you won't have really thick, bulky layers. The first layer will go on pretty thin. You'll get mostly the powder with a few of the finer glitters. And then when you lay your finger in, you'll get the chunkier glitters and you'll get the full coverage that you're looking for. That being said, if you're using gel liquids like I am, you want to be really careful when you lay your finger into the powder that you don't push or crinkle the gel liquid. Because it is liquid, it's wet until you cure it in the UV lamp. It is going to move around a lot on your finger, so you want to make sure that you just lightly lay your finger on top and press it into the powder flat. You don't want to put your finger in perpendicular, like as if you're going into a T, because you're just going to move the gel around on your finger and you're going to wind up with uneven layers that you're going to have to file through when you're doing your cleanup and reshaping. So I am doing 2 coats for each color. I've got Sugar and Ice on my thumb and ring finger. I've got Bae Watch, spelled B-A-E Watch, which is the orange, going in on my middle finger right now, and then on my pointer and my pinky, it's Happy Girl Summer. I did think that Happy Girl Summer at first was a glow or a UV changer, but none of them are. That's fine. I will just have to use it in my next manicure. I do want to do a Barbie-inspired manicure. Originally, that's what this manicure was going to be, but when I was going through my different shades of pink, I saw the Sugar and Ice, and I had to use it. I kept waffling back and forth, and I just decided in the end that I'll push off Barbie and do this pinky coral mix. And I am not disappointed. I hope you are not disappointed. I do want to take this time to thank all of my returning viewers for stopping by and watching this video. And for anyone that's new, hi, how are you? My name is Stephanie. This is Nails by Sora. I'm very happy to have you here. I hope you will consider staying and subscribing. You can hit that notification bell or rather you can hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you always know when new videos are available. I do post about 3 to 4 times a week. I always post on Mondays and Thursdays, and then usually on either Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Saturdays. I'm sorry about that. That was my sister calling. So I was saying I pretty much can post any day of the week. So always expect a video, but definitely always on Mondays and Thursdays. But I'm going to actually start talking about the manicure now, since I haven't shut up about everything else under the sun since I started recording. But I am going through and I'm putting on the second coat right now. Make sure whether you're using dip liquids or gel liquids, make sure that you always dust off the layer of excess powder after you cure, just so that you're not pulling it onto your gel brush or your dip liquid brush. And now I'm just laying my finger directly into the glitter. One thing to note when you're working with different sized and shaped glitters is that it is mixed in with a lot of other products that are of a finer consistency. And usually when it's all packed into the jar, some of the glitter is going to settle to the bottom. So when you dump it out into whatever vehicle you're using to dip your finger into, you want to give it a good shake so that all the glitters rise to the top. That way you get the most coverage when you're laying your finger into the glitters. You want to really get that good combination of different shapes and sizes and colors. The worst thing that can happen in terms of aesthetics and overall coverage is that you lay your finger in and you get mostly translucent powder and none of the glitter. So just give it a little shake, shake, shake. The glitters will rise to the top, lay your finger in, and you'll get full coverage. Also, you want to be careful that when you're putting the gel liquid on or the dip liquid that you don't flood your cuticles. You want to start a little bit further up the nail and push the glue towards the cuticle and the sidewall, and then draw the brush back up towards the free edge. Now, you'll notice that I'm pouring over or dipping in quite a few times. Especially when you're using gel liquid, that liquid really absorbs a lot of the powder, especially the more fine the powder is. The powder is really going to, or rather the glue is really going to absorb that powder, and the nail's going to start getting shiny again. So if you dip and the nail gets shiny, pour a little bit more over or dip again. And if you're still getting a little bit of shine, then dip or pour over again. That way you get the most coverage with each coat as possible. I do go in and I do a full cure for 60 seconds before I go and dust off and go on with my next layer. And I'm just going to go in and finish the rest of my nails with the second dip. And then I'm going to go on to the filing and finishing off of this hand. I think this is the fastest manicure that I've done this far with dip powder, even though I'm using 3 different colors. It only took me like 20 minutes, half an hour to do each hand. So I may just have to do more dip manicures going forward because this went exceedingly well and exceedingly fast. All right, so now that I've done 2 coats, I am going in. I think I forgot to hit record because I'm already on my middle nail, but I am going in with a coat of base coat Generally speaking, and I did speed up the video just because you don't need to stare at me base coating my nails, but generally speaking, I don't use clear dip powder when I'm doing a gel process because there's a lot of different products that comprise a clear dip liquid, clear dip powder, and gel liquids tend not to react well with clear dip powder. For some reason, it gets cloudy or you see little flecks. So whenever I do gel process with dip powder, I go in and I encapsulate with a good amount of base liquid and then usually a top coat. So then I can go and file and reshape and not damage the layers of color, especially since I only do 2 layers. I don't want to end up filing through the color and then it shears it out and I have to do another dip, which actually that happened on my right hand. I filed a little bit too aggressively and I ended up having to go back in with the orangey coral color and do another dip on one of my fingers. But yeah, so I always encapsulate with gel liquid so that I can go file and reshape, which I'm about to do now. I'm just wiping off the tacky layer before I do so I don't gunk up my nail file. And then I'm just going to give a mostly gentle buff and reshaping on my left hand, and then I'm going to top coat, and that's going to be the video. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you once again for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Or if you're just returning and you haven't yet subscribed, now's the time to do so. Because like I said, I'm always posting videos. You don't want to miss it. But I really appreciate you. Even if you don't subscribe, thank you for joining me. Welcome to all the new viewers. I hope you consider subscribing. Definitely give me a like and leave me a comment if you so wish. I'm just going to finish up with some cuticle oil, and that is the video. Thank you once again.